Yes, I can light the whole universe. I am different, I am purpose, I am brilliant. Yes, I feel it.
All right, gorgeous ones. So I am starting to kind of like drill down into my makeup collection. And I know a lot of people are doing this by not buying things, but I am going to do it and buy things. No, just before y'all get all upset, don't get in your feelings. Don't let your panties get twisted. I'm joking. Okay, so anyway, no, seriously, I am starting to look at my collection and, you know, and start really like talking about it from different standpoints. So today I noticed that recently I have really started getting what I call tiny palettes. And so I wanted to share some of my favorite tiny palettes, talk about them, let you see them. And so if you would like to see what I'm talking about, don't go anywhere. My necklace always is off kilter. Just looks a mess because it's 3 of them wrapped up around each other. Anyway, let's talk tiny palettes today. Now, when I think of tiny palettes, the way I categorize them is I say palettes with less than 10 shades in them. Now, that doesn't mean that they're like super small palettes, but that's just my criteria in my head. And the thing about tiny palettes, that I think about when I look at them is I think, okay, usually you want them to, with a tiny palette, they really need to be tight and cohesive, as they say, cohesive, but they really do need to be something that you can look at and say, okay, this makes sense that I could use it a lot. And so I do like them because they really do make it easy to create looks. You know, it might not be like you're going to have 17 looks, but you will have a few of them that you can make and really make it easy. And I think that's the thing about these tiny palettes is that they allow you to make really easy looks, which in turn makes it simpler for somebody who's kind of starting out. So let's talk about some of them. So I'm going to talk about a couple of my first. This one is one of my favorites that I've had for a while. It's like you have these palettes where you could just pop into them and find something. This is one of my favorites. This is Winky Lux. This is this is the kitten palette, the original one they have. Let me show you what it's inside. So it's a 9-pan palette. And the thing about this is that it's just like one of those easy breezy things. I just pull it out. I can come out with like 2 or 3 looks. Usually my thing is, my go-to is I will grab this up here in my transition, throw that in my crease, you know, deepen up the corner a little bit, and then throw one of these colors. I really love this one and this one for you know, my crease color, because they have a really pretty, and this is a really, I wear this a lot for, you know, during the day, just want to throw a look together. So that's why I really love this one. Really nice, blends really well. It's a really good formula. Now this one, y'all know I'm gonna have some City Minis in here. Y'all know I love the City Minis. And this is one that I really love. This is Blushed Avenue. If you want a simple berry toned palette, this is so nice, because this is just like, I mean, just, you can even look at it right there and say, yeah, I can make some looks with this. You know, it has enough mattes. It has 4 mattes, 2 shimmers. One shimmer's a little bit lighter than the other, so that therefore you can really come up and have some really nice looks with it. What's going on right here? Okay, let me get back and focus. Focus on me, camera. Okay. Now I got another City Mini for you, and this one is called High Rise Sunset, and this is a more warmer toned one, and it has and this is all mattes, which I love a good all matte palette. And so this is just this tiny all matte warm colored. You know, you can really do some really pretty things with it. And this is one of the better City Minis. I am going to do a City Mini collection video and show you all of the ones I have and my thoughts on all of them, from, you know, best to worst. But this is one of my favorites. Okay, so now here's one. Now this is by Igneous Cosmetics. They are out of Canada, Toronto, I think. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because if you're looking for a little baby bluish green toned, this is bay. You know, it has that beautiful blues and greens. Now, I don't know if she's still selling this particular set. You could go on, I will have everything linked. I will try to link everything in the description box. But she does have, I recommend, because I have another one. I bought 2 of these at the same time. I recommend her formula. It's not too powdery. It blends really well. And this right here, if you looking to do some blue-green looks. Okay, y'all see this? Okay. Now, next up for blues is the Color Rain Lovelies palette. Y'all know I had to throw a Color Rain in because I've become a fangirl. And I didn't think I was going to like these little palettes. They are expensive. Wait till she puts them on sale again. But this right here, I have been doing this cute little blue smoky eye because I like smoky eyes that aren't just like black or anything like that. I love smoky eyes that are, you know, deep blues and things. And the thing I love about this is that it has a blue, but it's not that royal blue that everybody has been using. You know, y'all know the blue of 2018. This is a deep blue. So then it gives you, you know, it deepens your corners or gives you a nice crease. And it's not black. Because y'all know I'm like, I don't need 5011 blacks. So that's one of my fun ones. This one right here is a new one I have. This is by Mavie, and this is the Take Me to Paris. Now, if you want something that's, you know, just a very soft look, if you're looking to do something, a really soft look, this is perfect for it because it's very pinks. It's like, you know, a very, very Parisian. This is a very French look because it's not going to be, you know, something like this, very bold, but it'll be a very pretty, ladylike, feminine look. And I really love the shimmers in here, like this green right here. That was one swipe, y'all. That was one swipe. Now, you gotta have, now I'm wearing purples, but I'm actually not wearing this one because I was trying out something new, but that I have. But this is the Smashbox, and this is one of the cover shots, and this is Ultraviolet. Now, I'm learning with the Smashbox Ultraviolets. They are kind of hit and miss. I have one that I really is okay, but this Ultraviolet one is love. If you want a little mini purple palette that is very tight to the look, then this is a really good one because it will give you a tight purple look without you having to like try to figure out, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to make it work? This one is just really, I mean, if you look at it, it has, you know, some like cherry colors in it. So that way you can do a little different. And it has enough mattes. It has 1, 2, 3 mattes. But, and this one right here, this deep blue, even though it is a little shimmery, you can use it to deepen your crease. Put it in your crease. Trust me, it'll look cute. Now, I have 2 of these and I shouldn't have put them both in, but y'all know I love pink. And so I had to put these 2 pinks in, and I know they're the same company, but I'm sorry, I just had to do it because they're kind of different. They're kind of different. Wait a minute, let me change this one. Okay, I made a change. I said, no, Louise, you cannot do this. Okay, but they're kind of dupes for each other, and that's why I didn't want to put these 2 in, but I'm going to put them in anyway. So for pinks, we know pink is my color. The Ooh La La by ColourPop. Now, these little 9 pans that they are doing are gorgeous. If you want a pink one, and it's just so tight to the color scheme, you know, that's what I'm saying. When it comes down to these tiny ones, they really have to be like really think through. Me personally, I like one that really thinks it through and doesn't just throw some colors out. And this is such a pretty pink one. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 mattes, and then it's got the shimmers and this duochrome right there. Oh, love. Now, honestly, the Lime Crime Venus 3, these two are very similar, but a little bit different. And I really love this palette because you see how it's got that deep purple in it, and then it's got the, you know, the nice little mauve color. So this is a very mauve pink one, and it gives you a nice shimmers. I will say this. I know people say They don't really like the Lime Crime shimmers and metallics. They say they're not as good as they used to be. But honestly, I think they're lovely, especially if you are more mature, because they give you the sparkle, but they're not chunky. They're not as chunky as some. And so you can really rock them out. Now, I will say, listen, this one is a little trying, you know, they a little trying. You know, they are very subtle, and you will need to build them up, and you will need to use a spray to get the vibrancy if you really want them vibrant. But for a very, you know, beautiful, dreamy kind of ethereal look, I like these for that, which is funny because that one's called Heavenly. But I think they give you more of an ethereal look. So it'll give you a nice, pretty, you know, shimmer without it being so, you know, I mean, come on now. Most of us, we want the shimmer, but we're not necessarily going for the super glitters like I can do, but, you know, but so that's one of them. And this is just 8 colors. Oh, yes. And now finally, I know y'all was like, where's Juvia? Where's Juvia at? We gonna talk about something and not put Juvia in there? Of course we got some Juvia. Now the thing with Juvia is she's a 9-pan, but she's a big 9-pan. And I picked the Deuce because I think that the Deuce was the moment that Juvia actually really put together a good color story, as they say. It's because before then, and let's just be honest, before then, Juvia could be kind of difficult to work with from the standpoint of saying, oh, okay, I'm going to come up with a look. You know, you really have to be creative. You really have to have a good eye for color with some of her older palettes, even though there can be smaller palettes. But this one, the Deuce, was the first one that was really something that you can look at and say, okay, I can make this happen. And that's what worked for me. And that's why the Deuce is one of my favorite ones. Because before I would struggle with hers, and then I would have to pull 2 or 3 different palettes to get some of the looks that I wanted. But with this particular palette was when it was like, okay, I can do this. And this is her first, this is the most subdued palette. That's why it's called the Deuce. But, you know, so it's not for everybody, but if you want something, this is very similar to the Take Me to Paris palette. They're very similar. If you look at them, hold on, let me grab that one. If you notice, they're very similar in color schemes, but the Take Me to Paris is a little more muted, whereas the Juvia's Place is much more vibrant, even though for Juvia's standards, this is pretty muted. But like I said, this is such a beautiful palette. That's why I chose this, because not only does it have the beautiful mattes that work together, but then you have these beautiful, I mean, we know Juvia is known for her metallics and her shimmers, and these are the same quality that we expect. And I find that this is one of her really well put together palettes. All right, so that's why I chose this one. So those are my little tiny palettes. You know what? Let me know about your tiny palettes. Are there some tiny palettes that you love? Now, a lot of these I do have looks with. So, except for the Lime Crime ones, I think. And I don't know. A few of them I don't have some looks with, but most of these I actually have some looks up with. All right. So, that's it for my tiny palettes. These are 10 that I really like. Of course, I have more. We know I do. Let me know about your tiny palettes. What tiny palettes do you love? Do you grab for? And as always, if you're watching this, it's your Lulu. Let's get out of here. Be bold, be brave, be fearless, be free. Talk to you later.